Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to another Saving Your Disaster video. This one comes in from a viewer called Alice. Hello Potato, I'm trying deity for the first time, going for culture as Christina. 6 players, continent map, no modes, plan to get a religion and mass settle, and build lots of national parks in the late game. My start was okay as the Sulk was the first tile, however I was declared war by Ethiopia with 2 chariots. I was fairly okay defending, I also quickly got to make friends with Canada. However, Arabia appeared, forcing me to get a religion quickly. Also, I got so little space that they all settled too quickly. Because I had little space and a great campus location, I decided to switch to science. Also, I gave Canada the border city for all his gold to buy the last profit. Arabia declared on me, and my lack of both strategics and tech led me to losing my capital. At this point, I was screwed. Here are the saves turn by turn. If you mention me, please call me Alex. There are only UI mods and all DLCs on. This is literally textbook perfect save file. This is exactly how I want it to be sent in. This person sent in a massive array of save files detailing the game from turn 1 to turn 81, and we are currently on turn 81 where the capital is about to fall. I'm going to be honest with you, turn 81, there's very little we can do here. Let's go back like 10 turns to see if maybe there's something we can do to fix this game. We can spot some mistakes that kind of led you to getting to this point. Civilization is a game where the inertia of the game is very high. And what that means is when you're heading in a direction, it's very hard to change directions. So let's have a little bit of a look at the situation that we're in. We did just get masonry. I do appreciate that Alice made a religion that says potato is the best. I do appreciate that. And as I look at this position here, I feel like there's a lot going on that's fairly wrong here. I feel like you're settling. I think in the previous save file you had settled here. I wouldn't settle here because I would want to get another city here. I would settle there. Okay, I know that sounds wild. And then I would settle on the Silk so that I could cram more cities in, because your big thing is you need to get to at least 6 cities, and you're on 4 right now. This gets you to 6. 6 cities is a good amount to get to. Trading a city to Canada, don't think it's the greatest thing you could have done. I don't think I would have traded a city for a religion. Don't think that was worth it. You are in the middle of a war and you're still building settlers, you're still building government plazas. I know these things are important, but you absolutely need to plug in a GOG and need to start making maneuver. You need, the thing that allows you to build archers faster. It looks like you've been at war for a while. You've been at war for at least 10 turns, so you can still make peace, okay? You should have enough archers to just carpet this area and kill his stuff, because the goal is to be so well defended that you can't be touched, and then you can freely pursue your agenda. But I appreciate this is your first game on DD. Let's go back another 10 turns to see if we can maybe find more mistakes, things we could fix, things we could adjust. Let's go back turn 61. You are still at war with Ethiopia. He refuses peace. I see the issue that you've been having. You probably didn't need to sell a city because Arabia already has a religion. So there are 2 to go. So you didn't need to sell this. Although selling the city did kind of make sense because it was low on loyalty. So I appreciate that that is what you did. Ooh, where would I settle here? I actually don't think this is a good coastal city. I think your settling on this city was poor. There is an amazing campus location both here and here and here. This is a whole bunch of +4 campuses. This is very much so screaming a science game. When you spawn in jungle, I don't think this would scream much else. I don't think a holy site helps us here. I think we would like to change our government, but we can't do that, can we? We could do mysticism in 3 turns. Let's go for mysticism, plus it will get us envoys. I would like you to make me some archers. Now you're making a monument. I think that's totally fine. We also built a builder in the capital. That's a little bit weird. Something we can do to help out with this is to secure the religion without having to resort to selling a city, is we can just chop a tile. That's actually totally fine. The pair of chariots here are interesting because I don't think you've actually unlocked chariots, so I'm not sure how you got these chariots. Very curious about that. We definitely would like to get settlers. There's at least a settler here. Okay, I would settle here, and the reason that I want to settle here is because I want a coastal city. It's next to a decent reef tile. Ooh, actually, maybe I would modify this. Well, this city it's definitely going on the Silk because there's an amazing harbor right there. That's a beautiful harbor. This city is a little bit less clear. It may actually be better to move it out or in a tile. What if I moved it up a tile And then I also settled here. This feels very, very nice to me, this configuration. It gets me a few extra cities into pretty tight land. We could also potentially kill Antananarivo if we're not going to go for a culture victory. Antananarivo is incredible, but it's also a city that we could potentially take and hold, which would open up a potential coastline settle here. Particularly, it would be really nice if we could, well, did we go for the culture victory? We could do a limited war on Canada. He's one of the weaker players in the game. We could do a limited war on him, maybe take Montreal, get a couple of extra cities, like get a city on the snow, get a city on the tundra, and that is so that we could activate the open air museum. So the latest save file that you sent me was turn 81. So I've got 20 turns to try and put you in a slightly better position than you were in. And I think archers are going to be a key component of that. One thing you can also do with archers is don't be afraid to be slightly aggressive. One of the ways you can get an AI to piece you out, which should be our primary goal, is to actually move forward and shoot his cities. Every time we damage one of his cities, we make him think he's losing the war. You don't need units to be inside the city to defend it. Oftentimes it's actually better to defend tiles adjacent to cities and then have an archer inside the city. We're going to chop here. That will one turn the Holy Site Prayer. You're going to move down this way. And here's the thing, we're surrounded by religion right now, so we don't have to found our religion until we feel ready. It's quite late for you to be getting a fourth city, but I do appreciate that you went for a religion build. You definitely went too many cities before your religion, like 4 cities before getting your religion. I would recommend going 2 cities, then religion, but that's fine. We would definitely... I think a science game makes more sense as Sweden here, and then use the open air museum to just get a lot of culture. I definitely feel like this is a science pivot. However, if we really want to focus on culture, we can do that. And I'm going to play this as if we're still going for a culture victory. So we got attacked here with the chariot. We're going to fortify. That's fine. Now there's an archer in that city. That's okay. How does he feel about peace? He's still not ready for peace, so we just need to like hurt the city a little bit more and continue to explore. Okay, Holy Site Prayer completed. Let's do another Holy Site Prayer. Would love to buy that tile. Can get 15 gold. Open borders. Can't sell. Let's see. What could we do? What could we do? What could we do? What could we do? We're not at war with Antananarivo. Don't think settling on the continent is the move. I mean, a coastal city here is fine. It's fine. Very low production. I think settling on the rice is actually a totally reasonable decision that you made. So I'm going to mirror that, even though I just don't think this is a very good city in general. We definitely want to keep link shopping. Let's have a little bit of a look here. Wow, it hurts that you have nothing to sell the AI. We can buy his Diplo favor and sell it to Canada for 100 gold. And we can do that every single turn for as long as he has this. We also just really, if we could get this guy to piece me out, it would be amazing. Okay, he won't take anything for peace. That's fine. Speaking of this city, you have your holy site placed. Now let me have a look at what kind of pantheon you went for. You went for culture pantheon. I would have put my holy site here. I'm not sure why you placed it here. I'm not gonna, I can't change that, but that's okay. I definitely feel like this is a city that could use a builder. So we'll start on that. Our government is a little bit inefficient. We got settler thing plugged in, which doesn't feel amazing. We can totally get to chop on this. Okay, there's mysticism. I'm going to move you to here. I'm going to take the Arrow Storm promotion. I'm going to plant you there to protect this archer while I retreat him. Let's hope he wants to peace. No, he's still not looking for peace. That's okay. Okay, we purchase his 15 Diplo favor. Sell it to you for another 80 gold. Can we buy here? We're just out of luck. So we were on like the verge of getting a religion here, which is a little bit frustrating. A single chop would have done this for us if I had the gold. Oh, do you know what? Actually, I think I can make this work. Hold on. Sort by last modified. So let me go back a turn. I think I can optimize my way around this. Now, there is going to be like a little bit of saver loading because I'm exploring possibilities here in how do I navigate this player through this. And because I only have 20 turns to work with to get them into a better position, that's what I'm going to try to do. So what I could do instead is if I go to here, go to this tile, right? We start another Holy Site Prayer. We go to the quick deals. We purchase, not luxuries. We purchase Diplo favor. I know this is a little bit of an exploit. It is what it is. We get that gold, buy that tile. We start production in here. I think it would be reasonable. I think builders are a great way for us to continue to develop our empire. Would love to get a settler over here on the left. Don't know if it's possible. We'll see what we can do. And I think attacking the city with the archer was actually a mistake. Attacking again with the archer was a mistake. Hitting it once was totally on point because now his archer has popped out of the city and it's an option for us to shoot him. There's mysticism. That will actually get us an envoy. It would have been really nice to have been Valetta's suzerain. We're at war with Akkad. We could take this kill. It would lead us to being vulnerable, but we can always step back and heal. You can shoot that archer. Let's go ahead and chop there. 2 turns. God, we still lose that. Unlucky. Yeah, it looks like you were slightly inefficient. You should have been chopping out that those holy site prayers. You know, it was a good effort. I think we're going to miss a religion. You don't need a religion to win a faith game. If I had made this decision and I had chopped heavily into holy sites, now that I know that I can't get a religion without selling a city, I would rather keep the city and not get a religion. That would be my opinion. So I didn't realize you had so few tiles improved. So let's go all the way back to turn 61 again. So we've explored a few possibilities, and now I know what I'm going to do to get you through this. So here's the thing. You don't need a religion to win a culture victory. You can just adopt someone else's religion. That's actually fine. The important part is actually the faith generation and the long-term planning of your empire. Now, let's talk a little bit about how we're going to get ourselves from this bad position to a game-winning position. So we're working a holy site prayer. We've just confirmed that we will not be able to get a religion. It's really important that the holy site be like the first thing you do in a game, or you're going to have a really hard time getting a religion. Just pro tip. What we are going to do is not focus on holy sites. We do want the faith income, but we would like to secure a golden age if we're going to do that. Otherwise, we only care about faith income later on in the game. And for now, we just don't mind. It's not a priority. Let's start working on archers in cities. We would like at least 3 archers. We would like at least 1 archer per city, maybe a couple of extra archers in the border cities. But we need more units. And so that's what we're going to work on right now. We're going to switch our culture. I know we did a little bit of back and forth, but I had to explore those possibilities to know where I stood in the game. We're going to move to there. You're going to move outside to fortify. You are going to step forward to threaten that city, and you're going to move to the right. And you're heading down to that juicy location. Let's set out our settling plan once again. So I would like to settle up here. I would like to settle there. That is a series of 1, 2, 3, 4 cities. Plus, it would be amazing if we could get a city over here. If we could kill Antananarivo. If we could kill Valletta and Akkad as well. Although Valletta might be a little bit of a harder sell. Would love to kill Montreal. We'll put a sword on that icon. Just like long-term question mark. Can we get an easy war on this? And then potentially get a snow settle for the open air museum, plus a 1, 2, 3, plus a tundra settle for the open air museum as well. We would love to get 2 cities down here because every time we settle on a different type of terrain, we get +2 tourism for each type of terrain on that building. To that end, we would love to settle on a desert tile. If we could settle here, it would be amazing. 1, 2, 3. And that's why we want to own Montreal. So these are the cities that, like, if we want to win a culture victory, we need to have these cities. So just keep that in mind. That is part of our hashtag goals this game. But we are going to have to live without a religion, and we just have to hope someone near us has a good religion. So let's have a look. Canada doesn't have a religion. Arabia has a religion. Islam is probably okay. The food and growth could be really useful. So we don't mind if he spreads Islam to us. There's bronze working. You're going to step forward and shoot the city. You're going to position here. Just seeing if we can poke in for a pillage or something. Scouts are like defending these cities. Scouts are not good city defenders. They're much better like flanking helpers. Have them adjacent to your units to help with flanking. So I do appreciate that you went for Victor. I think a Magnus could have been also a pretty valid choice here. I'm going to go ahead, chop here to get that archer sooner. This will just make me feel safer, and then we'll get plantation here. Since I can't put a lumber mill there, chopping the woods actually does make sense. Now, where I'd like to go is actually for walls could be pretty useful. I don't see any quarryable resources nearby, but I need like a couple archers and a builder in most of your cities. Let's go ahead and retreat you. All right, good intel that we're finding. Now, with these archers out, I think I would like another archer. So I want at least maybe 3 archers in the capital to defend it. Maybe 2 archers in Vasteras. Maybe 2 archers all along here. And our goal is to just like hope that Ethiopia decides that peace is more, valuable than continuing the war. We got the monument in link shopping. That's definitely a builder as our next thing. There's at least a luxury. We need to get those luxuries online. There's a luxury online, which we can now immediately sell to the AI for 240 gold, which can be used for a variety of purposes. Yes, selling that amenity is more important than having that amenity, in my opinion. Okay, there's mysticism. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and shoot this archer. We're getting free damage on our enemies. I'd love to swoop in and see if I could get a pillage on that campus. That would be amazing. Not only would it bring down his science, it would give me a huge injection of science. Speaking of science, we need to figure out our plan to do with that. All right, archer is in position there. I want plantation would be nice. There is things we need to think about long term is where our national park's going. This would be a great national park. The problem is 1, 2, 3. It's not in range. 1, 2, 3. It's not in range of a city to actually be a national park. So we might have to kind of rework how we do things here. There is a 1, 2, 3. There is a national park in between these 2 mountains, however. So that would be a nice conversion of our faith. We need to think about holy sites actually give bonus appeal to their adjacent tiles. So that's something we need to think about. when we're kind of planning out our empire. Long term, we just need to place these here so we know not to put districts there or permanent improvements. This plantation tile doesn't give extra food, so that's fine. I think getting the banana could be good. Eventually we want to chop that banana because it's a jungle. But it as a plantation for culture is great here. How is Pingala promoted? Let's take a little peek. I think a government plaza on this tile actually totally makes a lot of sense here. So if I go government plaza there, then campus there, there's a +6 campus. Yeah. Okay. And then there could be like a pair of theater squares here and here with an entertainment complex right there. And then we've got like really nice adjacency kind of swinging around here in the early portions of the game. I'm setting you up for success, okay? That's the hope. Speaking of theater squares, probably good for us to unlock that. Let's go for that. We probably won't be able to get a Colosseum, even though we would love it this game. Hold on to that envoy. There's no point in spending it yet. Now, if I could get another shot on this archer, I could kill him with this scout. So that would be kind of an interesting event if we could make it happen. He did retreat. That's okay. This archer is better positioned forward because we can get a shot on people as they approach the city. I totally forgot to take out conscription and plug in Agog to get these archers faster. It's okay. Even I make mistakes. Our good friend. All right, the archer came forward. We can blast him. Nice, we got the kill, which means I feel safer running forward to try to pillage this campus. This is where scouts are really useful, not for their combat prowess, but for the combat adjacency stuff that they do. They make your life easier in a variety of ways. We could take suzerainty of Valletta. I will, because it allows me to buy things with faith. And actually, we want to keep Valletta alive this game if we can. So if anyone tries to kill Valletta, they're our enemy. So honestly, a war on Arabia right now with a couple of archers would be perfect. We need to stop both of these guys because we need to keep Valletta alive. Being able to buy buildings with faith, very, very useful for us in a game where we're going to be building holy sites. I mean, we already have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 holy sites placed. We may as well finish all of those to get a baseline of faith. We're going to go ahead and plant the city right here. That's knowledge of sailing. We will delete our pins. We're going to lock in that 2 food, 2 production tile. Immediately go for the granary. No, this is a river coastal city, so the monument first is fine. There is something to be said for a quick builder in here. Maybe I'll go builder granary. No, I think the monument is the most efficient way to do things because the faster you get to feudalism, the more efficient your builders are. So the build is just better if you go that way. Okay, the city got walls and shot us, and then the quadrium came in. That's fine. That's a scout unit, not very important. Now, we're dealing with a little bit of chaos here, so we're going to go ahead and retreat you. I'm going to take the arrow storm promotions. This guy just does serious damage. You stay fortified, you're providing adjacency. We'll go to the next turn. There we go. Machinery boosted. Let's put 1 archer to the left. You shoot him. That's perfect. He's dead. Fortify, fortify. And we would want another archer. Would love to be building all these other things. So all of the religions are gone, but we don't care about that, right? It's not our play. Now, in the capital city, we would like to start producing settlers, but we're better off producing a builder and then chopping out settlers because we have a couple of forests in here that we can make good use of. I appreciate how hard you went for a religion. The important part of a holy site isn't getting the religion, it's the faith generation when it comes to a culture game. All right, so the front line is starting to establish. We need 1 more archer to hold this city. I would like 1 more archer for Stockholm to hold this tile, but I would say Ethiopia should be feeling a little bit more amenable to peace. I have more military score than him. His science is still insane. It's a big problem for us. My scout just leveled up. We'll take faster movement in forests. 9 turns have passed. We have not found iron. We have no strategics whatsoever, which is really bad. So we need to figure out a unit that's going to protect our cities. The chariot is a good move. Let's get riding. No, we're going to go for the wheel. We do have bronze working, don't we? Yes. So when you're ready, I'm going to buy this tile. I'm going to place your government plaza. And you will build that after we have this 3rd archer. He's getting that damage in. That's okay. He's fortified on a hill. Defensive terrain. You can shoot him. And the goal here with these archers is just the attritional extra little bit of damage really helps out. And we want to have a couple of archers to be able to take out potential. And you want your archers positioned on hills, by the way. That's the key thing. They want to be on hills because they can shoot over other types of terrain. So here comes the catapult. Valletta has been killed. We need to liberate them if we can. Shoot. So that catapult just straight up died because I had 2 archers here, 1 heavily leveled and preserved. Can't go for theology. Didn't found a religion. We do want temples eventually. However, we're going to go for games and recreation because this fits better into our build. Would love to place the theater square. I'm totally going to place the theater square. 1, 2, 3. I don't think you can place districts on these. Maybe I should do this instead. Yeah, I think that's a slightly better setup. in this config. Where's your theater square going in this configuration? There just isn't a very good spot, so we'll just leave it at that. But these are good theater squares. I'm going to go ahead and place that one. Place that down nice and early. Granary will allow the city to grow. It's part of the long-term development of a city is its growth. The granary gives housing. It also gives +1 food. The way to think about the granary is imagine if you had a citizen working a 3 food tile, right? That's what I want you to imagine. You've added a citizen to the city that is working a 3 food tile that does not increase the cost of upgrading the amount of citizens in the city. So we're going to go ahead and chop there. That'll get us a granary instantly. We're going to move this archer 1 tile to the right. You're staying fortified right there. You're in defensive terrain. We did just finish the monument here. We're going to grab ourselves another archer while this city now has finished making archers and can go to more important infrastructure like the government plaza, because now I'm bringing up archers from the back line. Did I not finish the builder in here? I did not. I accidentally forgot to finish the builder. That's okay. We'll make that work. So very easy thing here is when this guy's like threatening us, we just back off. You, little builder, move up this way. You shoot him. Can you get this kill? Always be looking for an opportunity to get a kill without retribution. It's always the most important thing. Plantation down, another luxury. Now that we have cities that are unhappy, we definitely want to keep our luxuries. We don't want to sell them. So let's go ahead and have a look. How's the growth in here? Growth in here is pretty poor. I think we definitely need this wheat tile to be done. Let's grab ourselves a trader, traders and builders. That's what we need. So here come the man-at-arms, but I feel like we're a lot better prepared for this than we were. Let's move you to there, move you to there, move you back. You're going to move over. You're helping defend the city. Step up this way. This is a great tile. This is a great defensive tile. It's double defensive. Double defensive means hill and forest. Let's chop here, get that settler going, and then we'll improve that tile. For now, though, what I'll do is I'll make sure it's not locked. Definitely want to work this. It's fine. We will improve it because we want to get apprenticeship boosted because apprenticeship is a really good mid-game tech. We definitely want to be getting as many of these boosts as we can. So it's going to be an important part of us like staying up technologically. Okay, 1 shot and 2 shots. Then you fortify, and then I'll promote you with rout, which gives you +5 combat strength against damaged units. You're going to go ahead and put the mine there. Archer is up in position. We've got 3 archers in the capital to chip away at these man-at-arms. We will chip away at those man-at-arms very, very slowly, but we will chip. And we're killing off enemy archers. How does he feel about peace? Because the only thing he has is that man-at-arms. He's still not interested in peace. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get that farm down. That's a 3 food tile. So with 2 3 food tiles, the city should grow quite a bit faster than it was. Now he's doing decent damage, but the chariot is across a river on a hill, I assume, fortified twice. That's +6 combat strength with 3 supportive units, which is another +6 combat strength, which means it's able to hold quite easily against this. Very important you get the garrison promotion if the unit is standing on the city center. That's +10 combat strength. It's actually insane. Look at the amount of damage this guy does, and now look at the amount of damage this guy does. The chunk of health is so much bigger. 35 damage versus 25. So much more important. What we need to start doing now is researching techs that are boosted and then looking for ways that we can get boosts. For example, building walls in Vasteras here would be an amazing one. If Valletta was still alive, we could have purchased those walls. Unfortunately, Valletta died. Let's go for defensive tactics. Our goal is to rush to feudalism. Feudalism is how we carry ourselves out of bad situations. The most important card in the game. All right, we have another chop available on this guy. Jungles are always worth chopping. Any luxuries hanging around? Not really. I would love to get this cotton online. I think I'll just go here to chop that jungle hill. After this builder, after the settler, we'll go for another builder and then another settler. Our goal is to try to settle our way out of our problems. Remember, we have problems and we have a way to solve them. This guy is not standing on a district, so I will take the volley promotion. So he does +5 combat strength. It's not quite as good as 35 combat strength, but it's decent. This guy can poke forward. Yeah, I'm not going to shoot that city. We'll just play it safe. And now I would go as far as to say is I am roughly on the same turn that you were on, right? Turn 79. But I'm in such a better position when it comes to like the actual board state. I could potentially steal a free kill on a man-at-arms here, taking away Ethiopia's capability to fight while maintaining the integrity of my capital. And I have a settler that just popped out of my capital. I've got way more improved tiles. Should have the builder card plugged in, honestly. Gonna wait on that. What the hell, I'll chop it. The growth acceleration helps. I would go as far as to say his production is kind of important to this city, so we will do that. I also might take the banana tile. Now the banana tile does kind of belong to Vasteras. It's helping Vasteras out quite a bit. Settler continues to make its way to the east, pull back the heavy chariot onto defensive terrain, and now he's willing to make peace and also trade me iron, which is kind of interesting. So we just got peace. It's turn 81 and your empire is very much so alive compared to how you were in. So it just goes to show you how much a little bit of knowledge can actually save a game. So I would say technically I have saved this game. However, I'm going to play another 20 turns to see if I can make it go further. So I'll save this as Christina 81 saved, but we will continue the play. So we got our government plaza, which means we can promote Pingala and get these really important promotions. So definitely get connoisseur first, because once we finish defensive tactics, that's going to help us get back into the game. We definitely want to grow the capital if we can. Now we're going to go for, well, we are settling quite a bit, but I think our empire is small enough to make audience chamber a fairly optimal pick with +2 amenities. So we're going to go straight for audience chamber. We are in classical republic, which feels good. Norrköping got a archer. I think we will get a, well, we don't need military anymore to defend. So what if we go settler? Let me count how many settlers I need. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 if I can make it work. How long would it take my capital? 14 turns. Take you 26 turns to make a settler. That's a long time. 22 turns. Okay, we're going to try and get those settlers out now. Although, if I got a granary in the city, it would allow it to grow a lot more. If I got a builder in the city, it would allow it to do a lot more. How close are we to feudalism? Yeah, I think we just go settlers. 1, 2, 3 settlers. Do I need all 3 of those? No. If my capital's making a settler, then this city does not need to make a settler. Okay, perfect. So 2 more settlers will finish off this Eastern Empire, and then we can maybe look into going to war with Canada, although Canada is our only friend right now. So we are going to want to trade with them or something. We're going to go for currency because we're about to get a trade route. Golden Age is completely out of the possibility for us. I don't even think we want to build this holy site right now because there's nothing we can do with faith right now. So instead we're going to work on that granary, and then we'll probably do a little bit of builder pre-building for when we hit feudalism. There's defensive tactics, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and immediately promote Pingala with researcher. This is going to help us catch up scientifically because it gives us +1 science per population in the capital. So we're up to 15 science, 23 culture. We are going to be heading into a dark age, which is going to make loyalty even harder for us. We're just going to have to live with that. One thing we could totally do is to get celestial navigation. This city, 100%, we're getting a galley. We should totally switch this out for maritime industries to be able to build those galleys. I would like 2. And the reason that I want 2 galleys is because I want to boost shipbuilding. And remember, I have really bad science right now, so I need to build as many things as possible. I also need to get a theater square up. So after the settler, I'll go straight theater square. It's about time that we got them. Somebody else is going to start earning great writer points, which is a bit of a problem for us. We need to get on top of that. Listen, his religion coming in here is actually brilliant. No matter whose religion. Wait, where's Islam coming from? Wait, who made Islam? Arabia made Islam? Oh, this is Ethiopia. Okay, this is Arabia, this is Ethiopia. So which religion do I prefer? Literally wish I had Islam right now. This is so much better, but again, we don't care. So I'm trying to think about what would be the best use of this trade route. It would be possible for us to get a 2 food, 2 production trade route, which is helpful, don't get me wrong. It would actually really help out the city of Jönköping. And coastal cities basically have to go harbour first, so I think we'll put that trade route in this city to trade to Västerås. Now, you could place another district. I do think a campus is like totally reasonable for us to place here. That's a +5 campus. Let's place it. This city needs to continue to grow. So again, I want you to think about this watermill, what it actually represents. This is like building a citizen in your city that is working a 3 food, 1 production tile. Okay, so for 80 production, we get a really good tile added to our city. So this is super worth our time, super worth our energy. Alternatively, we could pre-build a builder. I really like the idea of going watermill. I think they give huge returns in the long term. In terms of growth and production. They allow you to scale your build really nicely. There are downsides, is that like it hurts your tempo, but this is not a tempo build. This is going to be a slow burner of a game. Trade route to Västerås for the 2 food, 2 production, because coastal cities tend to struggle. That'll boost currency. We need to think about what our next boost is, and we need to think about what we can't boost. So if we can't boost something, sometimes we just accept that we're going to hard research it. It looks like we can't boost pasture tech, so we're just going to hard research that. We don't have any pasture resources around, as far as I can tell. There's currency. We would like to build some trade routes this game. We have an envoy. We're going to save it. Nothing we can do to speed that up. Although technically, if I put one into Akkad, it would give me a slight boost in my capital. It's not important. Okay. I think settling here is actually kind of important, even though it's a quote-unquote bad city, because it secures the border. It puts pressure on this tile, it pushes pressure on this tile, it blocks out these tiles over here. My people will settle where they please, Ethiopia. We're up to 28 culture per turn. We did get our first galley. The galley is important for 2 reasons. A, it lets us explore the coastline, and B, it allows us to build a builder here and improve these coastal tiles without worrying about them getting pillaged. So it's a multi-purpose thing. The city of Jönköping is, I definitely feel like a harbour is the play here. I also think there's a really damn good industrial zone somewhere in this city. How do I want to set it up? Maybe we could do like aqueduct, dam, industrial zone, boom, boom, boom. This industrial zone, if I look at city overlap, would only hit 3 cities. if I were to... I mean, 3 cities is fine for a culture victory. It's just good to get a little bit of this. It's just an efficient use of this city's production, I think. And then we can go probably mausoleum here if we can. And then adjacent to that, we could go... Well, let me see. If I'm going to do that, what if I did theater square here? Okay, let him cook. He's cooking. What if I did this? Slightly change the configuration of things. And now I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 3 districts. A nice wonder that'll give me... Yeah, I like this build. Okay, that's going to be the goal that we go for. I think we're going to go like into theaters, into harbour, into mausoleum, into theatre square, into industrial zone with these kind of ancillary districts. And I think this will help the city stand out. Okay, there were like some galleys floating around, so I want to go look for those. But yeah, I honestly think trying to secure that religion was one of the biggest mistakes you made this game. So we're now officially 30 turns from when we took over your game. 2 more settlers are coming. We are about to enter into a dark age, which will make our lives a little bit harder. The city over here has been secured. I don't know what Canada's going to do on this coastline. One thing I would like to do is to maybe go for engineering, but I'll need to build ancient walls for that. Let's do that in this city so that we can get to that tech efficiently, and then we'll research ironworking. The world enters into the medieval era. We get a little bit of era score. That's perfect. Stirrups, construction, shipbuilding is advanced. Lots of stuff getting boosted. There's horseback riding. We did just get feudalism. Feudalism is an amazing tech. We did just finish that galley, so we can go ahead and pop out maritime industries, pop in serfdom. Very important card. Confirm that. Now we want a round of builders. In terms of dedications, I would go as far as to say free inquiry is one of the best ones because there's so many things you can trigger here. We can improve 2 sea resources. We can build 3 specialty districts. We can build ancient walls. We can build 3 mines, kill a unit with a spearman. All these things are very, very doable. Very, very doable. So I like free inquiry because it's basically like having quests that you can do to get a little bit of extra era score. Very, very, very fun way to play. Speaking of feudalism, what's our next thing? We go for recorded history because we want that governor title. Ideally, we would like to get Magnus to be able to place in some of these jungle cities to start shopping. We got the watermill in Linköping. I think the campus is going to be the best return on investment, but only after a builder. What we really need is builders now. We have a decent amount of population. We can really efficiently make builders, and now we need to start improving the tiles that already exist. So when it comes to this city, you absolutely need a builder to the point where I would like to buy a builder in here. That's a 5 charge builder with 2 sea tiles that can immediately improve. Let's immediately begin researching celestial navigation. You're going to very quickly grab yourself a granary to allow you to grow. Don't care about any of this. I'm just going to go ahead and say whatever. Just if I don't care, I usually just pick the top option. Vote once. That way I save my Diplo favor. Speaking of Diplo favor, let's go ahead and sell it to the AI. 14 gold per turn with 56. I don't think Arabia is going to declare war on me. Let's also sell off our iron. Let's get a friendship with Canada. Builder is out. We want to get these turtles online. And in fact, we would love to get these turtles online as well. That way we could sell a copy of turtles while retaining one. One of the best ways to help your build is to get your luxuries online and then sell them to the AI. A city-state emergency. I'm going to vote that up, actually. Okay, it failed. That's fine. Would have been nice to try to liberate Valletta. I think we could have done it with the help of like Canada. Because all we have to do is try to damage the units nearby and Canada will kill the city itself. So we're going to have to get a governor in this city once we plant it down. We can put Magnus here and then chop out a pretty decent city. We could move the city back 1 tile. I don't think we will. Yeah, I think I want it right there. That feels good to me. And all right, nice. We put a little fishing boat there. There's 3 food, 1 production, 1 gold, 1 science. So I've got another 6 turns to set your empire up for success. I actually didn't mean to finish celestial navigation, but it's not important. We will place that harbour, but we will finish the granary first. And I'll probably buy the watermill in here to get that +1 production because it's actually a huge amount of production early on for this city. So enemy quad. It's generally better to attack a quadrireme with 2 galleys if you don't have the barbarian card plugged in. Lumber mills are useful in certain circumstances. Let's get started on engineering. Nope, we don't want to get started on engineering until we actually build those ancient walls. If we could get a couple of catapults and send them to Antananarivo. It's unlikely that we could get this kill. It's probably not worth going for, but it's something you can consider if you feel like you're in a strong enough position. I don't think we're in a strong enough position to do that. I think we're in a, like, this is a recoverable position. I don't know if we're in a strong position. Fishing boat down. So great housing in here. Now we really want to get production. Totally should get a builder in the capital, especially because there's 2 turns left. Oh wow, it's a lot of quads. All right, we'll get the damage in. We need to play this very carefully. When you're fighting barbarian quads, you need to be super careful about positioning and stuff. Really what we need is for them to back off so we can save that ship. It's always quite good to pick up things like envoys. So we'll pick up those envoys. Start to play around with things. Looking at the city of Norrköping, we definitely want Magnus. I'm going to place Magnus in Norrköping, and I will get myself another builder in here while we just slowly build up the basic tiles, like a farm here, a farm here. Unfortunately, the city is not on a river. It would have made an amazing river city if we could have got a watermill in there, because that would have been so much food off these farms. It's okay. All right, we're taking a little bit of damage. Let's gently fall back to the city of Jönköping. It was actually Rydian from the Yogcast that told me how to pronounce those city names. Fun fact. And who says friends don't help your life? Okay, fall back, fall back. This builder in the city of Linköping, one thing we can do is hover over the city or click on the city to see what tiles it's working, and that's how we prioritize which tiles we're going to improve. So I would really like to get the campus here for that little bit of a science, plus it's also worth some era score because it's a really powerful campus. You're heading south to secure this, and you're heading east to secure this. I've got a builder in the capital, and there's a few improvable tiles like here. Capital has bad food right now, and the enemies are wasting all their faith fighting over me, which is just perfect actually. Chop, get that theater square a few turns sooner, get my scout to link up with this guy, and then I think we might have to just settle with settling here. Still need to build a mine to get apprenticeship boosting. We also need to finish a theater square to get mathematics boosted. Let's go ahead and just get shipbuilding because it's boosted. We just want to research boosted techs because we're not really aiming for anything in particular. We're just trying to get through the tech tree efficiently. Boom. And then boom. There we go. There's apprenticeship boosted. We would like now to get apprenticeship now that it is boosted. +1 production from mines is really going to help us in our mid game. Let's get these guys to heal up. You right here, you're going to chop, get that campus faster. Always chop. Okay, chopping is almost always the correct decision. Almost always. We got the monument in here. The obvious choice now is to go for the granary to allow the city to grow, actually grow. We got the granary in Jönköping, which means we are going to purchase the watermill, but first we'll go for the harbour. Can I get a bit of cash? A little bit of cash. So we should be able to buy that watermill next turn. Awesome. So it's been officially 41 turns since I've taken the save. I went one turn over where I'd meant to, but that's fine. I will make another save. And I will continue because I'm having a good time here. We don't need to do anything there. First theater square is coming. Boosts are coming. Drop another mine. Get that production up. Drop a mine here. Get that production up. Your job is to chop. Get you into position to start chopping. And there is a nice chop on this hill, which we will go for nice and early. And then we'll improve this mine. Let me go ahead. Well, I don't want to buy that mine tile until I get the watermill, which shaves 2 turns off of the harbour. Then we can pillage this. We could chop this tile to get the harbour slightly faster and then put a mine here, which I think is all very, very viable and intelligent. So Magnus is established. We can chop now to get another builder, and then we can chop out more builders. Chop, chop, chop. Chopping for builders. It's always worth it. Let's have a look at the food situation in Stockholm. A little bit light on food in Stockholm. Would love to get the granary and watermill. Probably will have to do that. The food from the shrine is actually fantastic here, so we will go for that. Go ahead and improve those unimproved tiles rather than chopping. It's not worth it to chop everywhere constantly, but it is worth it to chop a lot. So you should probably be chopping more. But you do have to be kind of careful how you chop. Like, chopping in Västerås does not make sense right now because there's a whole bunch of chops. I can get a lot of value out of Magnus. Chopping in Norrköping is a good spot to go because there's like a few tiles and I have the builder charges nearby all ready to go, and I can chop out more builders with these chops, right? So not only am I chopping, I'm getting more builders, which allows me to improve my empire faster. So this is what I call about acceleration. This is what I mean when I say acceleration. We're trying to accelerate our build, right? This is a coastal city. Coastal cities should almost always go granary before monument. It's slightly more efficient. For the long-term development of the city. You can't just go granary monument as well. If you really think the culture is important in the short term, you can. We're going to chop here. There we go. Shave a few turns off that harbour. And then we just need a little bit of cash. We'll sell off that silk and then we can buy that tile. We're not going to put a mine on this because we're going to be replacing a mausoleum over it. Mausoleum is a fantastic wonder in almost every type of game you're going for. There's theology. You're moving up. Magnus doing the work. We definitely want a theater square. 1, 2, 3. Honestly, this city. Oh, I got blocked. You know, if I built another entertainment complex here, I could put a theater square there. That's a +3 theater square. That's like pretty decent. Definitely want the theater square over anything else. However, we are chopping out builders right now, so that's going to be the main focus. Oops, totally messed up there. Let's go for civil service. It's good to get an alliance. If we could get some kind of maybe economic alliance with Canada, that would be interesting. We could take Susan of Kandy, which would maybe let us get some relics. Okay, what are you doing here? I think we chop the jungle. Boom. There's the campus finished. Perfect. We'll go for the library just for the sake of it. It's worth +2 science per turn, which is a decent amount. The great scientist points don't do much for us. We are going to need a governor for this city. I think I can put Victor in there and it should be fine. Is this better? So if I settle here, well, actually, technically, if I settle here, okay, hear me out. Not only do I clear the Barb camp, I can get a better harbor. There's still a good campus right here. So maybe this is the play all along. See, ooh, yeah, if I settle here, I get 2 amber. Not much advantage. I mean, the advantage to settling here is I get like a better stone tile, but I think settling here is fine. Slightly worse city in the short term, maybe much worse city in the short term, maybe slightly better for my empire long term is how I'm looking at it, right? These are going to be the last 2 chops in the city. This builder charge wants to get over to the furs. It wants to get over to the yeah, get that cotton online. Drop a little mine here. So now the city's looking really good with mines. It'll get another +2 production. When we get to apprenticeship, we've got the harbour coming out. We don't even need the lighthouse, but we will get that lighthouse. Here's a plantation. It's an extra +1 food. It's got 2 production. It's got a little bit of food. It's got a little bit of gold. It's got a little bit of culture. It's got everything that we want. Okay, I wasn't expecting my scout to get brutally murdered. I'm just going to go ahead and settle here. I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's grab Victor. We're going to assign him to the newly settled city for loyalty. We are going to double chop with Magnus. We'll chop out the builder, and then we'll chop out the theater square. And now look how many builders I have, right? 1, 2, 3. So many build charges are coming out. And now the city is finished chopping. We just take Magnus. Where do we put him? We put him into Vasteras. And we start the process all over again. We can just turn all of this jungle, all of this unchopped land into production, into useful things. Granary Monument in a coastal city. 1 attack and then 2 attacks. That's a good clear. Put a little mine there. Let's see how far we can take this. I do think we want to always be looking for mines. If you're curious about my UI mods that allow me to like hover over cities to see what they're doing, check the description of the video. There should be links to all of my UI mods. Let's just peel back a little bit to heal. Don't be afraid to be, careful. Definitely think mines are the play here. Let's have a look what you're working. Definitely work these tiles. Definitely work that tile. You should go for that cotton. Play a mine here. So the production of my empire is about to jump up because we're about to get apprenticeship. And I would go as far as to say, this looks like a pretty standard game. Need to do a little bit of damage to this guy, but both of them now have promotions, so he shouldn't be able to kill us unless there's a 1, 2, 3. I think these only have 3 movements, so nothing can get to us and kill us. So both of my galleys will get to promote through careful maneuvering. We'll drop a mine right there. I'm going to give this mine to Karlstad to give that city just that little bit of production. 2 turns until Magnus gets out in the city of Astras. Okay, with apprenticeship finished, we don't have any pastors, so we don't need to go for stirrups. It would be good to get our diplomatic quarter. Mathematics would be nice. Drop the mine. Now these are lovely mine tiles. So he's a little bit upset with me. He's allowed to be upset with me. Definitely, let's take a step back. Just take a step back. Let's definitely go now to head towards engineering and machinery in particular. Kind of sad I didn't get iron mines, but that's okay. We got the library in here. The city's about to grow. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time on the builder and then we can get started on this theater square. Theater square in Norrköping is finished. Something we would really like is a commercial hub for trading. We have a holy site. Like when you're going for a culture victory, the districts are theater square, holy site, and commercial hub. All really great districts for what you want to do. Let's place that commercial hub. It's a +3. And we would really like to actually start getting our amphitheaters and start to build up our relationship with Antananarivo. So we're no longer killing Antananarivo. They're a central part of our strategy. In terms of great people generation, let's have a look at the great writers. So a few great writers have gone to Canada already. So the second we finish the amphitheater, we want to see if we can buy those great works of writing off him to accelerate our build. Waiting for Magnus and Vasteras, you're getting the cotton online, which is excellent. Another luxury, maintaining quite good happiness. Shrine is coming up in the capital. There's still like a bunch of religious battling going on, which, we don't care about that. We're just hoping that we benefit from the shrine. +3 era score for having a harbour with really high adjacency. We can now immediately come down here and start the mausoleum. It's a 30 turn build, but just keep in mind, it's going to be like 1, 2, 3 science, culture, and faith from our fishing tiles that were definitely going to work, and then any spare citizens are also going to be generating an extra culture and faith. The way I culture, faith, and science. The way I want you to think about this is mausoleum is basically like having Pingala in the city for a coastal city with that has bad tiles to work, because then they can work these coastal tiles and actually get really nice improvements. So we're definitely going to go mausoleum into lighthouse. I may even buy the lighthouse with gold. I think that would actually be a super good move. If we could get that, it's only 480, and then we could get a trade route and move that trade route to another city that could really use a lighthouse. Like, for example, there's a +4 harbour right there. That's a fantastic harbour. Definitely want to see if we can get Uppsala going. We definitely need the granary and the watermill, but I think I'll go watermill into granary in Stockholm, because this is a huge amount of food that we're just not getting in the capital right now. We'll put a mine here. Eventually this will get replaced, but for now it's fine as a mine. You know, those builder charges aren't that expensive. We can always change them later. And it's now been officially 50 turns since I took over the game. And I would go as far as to say is this is a game that I could win. All I really need to do is to get 1, 2, 3 cities. If I can maybe kill Victoria, capture Montreal, settle these 3 cities, get all of my open air museums, continue to develop this empire, I would go as far as to say is like I'm in a position to potentially, I don't know if I would say I'm in a position to win this game, but I'm definitely in a much better position than the game you handed to me 30 turns later. Like, we've got districts down, our culture and science, while we're not top dog, we're definitely in a place where, you know, the AI are only a single era ahead. 50 turns from now, I definitely feel like I could turn this game around. You have way more cities. You're in a way better position. You have a plan for the future, because all we need to do is to get ahead of Canada, which shouldn't be too difficult, right? Especially if we're buying stuff off them, if we're trading with them, or doing what we need to do. And then grab Montreal. We could even just raise Montreal. You could totally just raise Montreal and settle like a bunch of cities on this coast here. Actually, totally a thing you can do. Something I could maybe potentially recommend. But this is definitely now a game that's on the pathway to a D&D victory. Is it going to be an easy game? No. Should I keep playing? What the hell? Let's see how far we can take this. I just want to see if I can get into a position where I would be like, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm winning. Because right now I don't feel like I'm winning, but I feel like I'm in a position to where if I continue to play and optimize, I could get into a winning position. Okay, Magnus is now established here. We're going to go ahead and chomp to finish the audience chamber, which is going to be +2 amenities and +4 housing in cities with governors, which is going to allow us to grow, especially if we're making use of the religion, Eastern, well, we want Islam more than anything. So it's kind of annoying that Eastern Orthodoxy is winning, but you know, what are you going to do? Let them fight. The granary is completed in Karlstad. Let's go ahead and get a builder in here. Let's get 2 builders in Vasteras, and we'll chop those out, because we always want to be moving. Magnus is basically a moving builder creator as well as infrastructure creator, so that's the goal with Magnus. Liang, we're going to pop Liang into Jönköping. This will, with another governor title, right, this will allow builders to be getting +1 build charge, but we can also get aquaculture here and then turn this into a massive food, gold, science, everything generator city, right? This will just be a really, really high yield city. For the cost of a few builder charges. It'll just turn the city into a monster if we can finish that mausoleum. We also really need to build the aqueduct. We got civil service, so we have access to alliances. Let's talk to Canada. A cultural alliance with Canada right now is actually like super, super good if we want it. Another good one will be a science alliance. I'm going to take the cultural alliance. One thing we should totally be doing is purchasing other people's luxury resources, because they're very, very cheap if you're using quick deals. It's like very, very easy to do that. Chop here. Another builder has come out. You're stepping there to chop that tile when it becomes available. Also want to chop this banana. And it's time for this city to build its incredible long, well, eventually it'll be a really good theater square, but right now it's not. I could also build an aqueduct here. I'm not against the idea. Building the aqueduct in this city would allow me to boost military engineering. It's important that I get as many boosts as I can. Farms aren't quite so important, but this is an okay farm tile. Let's go for mercenaries for the +1 envoy. I don't think I need to change my government. Well, I should totally have plugged out the settler card for sure. And we could totally plug in retainers to turn our old military into amenities. And that would actually, yeah, actually that's super useful. So let's start that process of resettling archers throughout my empire. All right, builder to here, you're gonna chop and chop. There's the aqueduct finished. This also opens up potential long-term changes to the city. Could go for the holy site, don't need the holy site, right? The late game faith generation is going to be great for us, but we don't need faith right now because we don't really benefit from a religion. And so we're just going to slowly stock up that faith for later. So I'll keep Magnus in this city for... No, you know what? I think it's time for Magnus to move, and he's going to move to Karlstad. We chopped everything in here. Move him to Karlstad. We'll finish off building up the city, and we'll send builders over to Karlstad to keep the locust mode going. One of the best strategies in the game is, if you're struggling as a player, is to just do locust mode every single game. What is locust mode? Locust mode is when you basically Magnus chop away basically every resource that you have available to your empire. It's an extremely effective strategy, and it's extremely useful. There, you place a farm there. May as well put farms where if the city's already working a tile, it's totally fine to put a farm on it. It allows the city to continue to grow. It only costs you a single build charge. It's not a very expensive way to make a city marginally better. Just do keep in mind, farms are marginal improvements. They do not make your city a lot better. They make it very, very marginally better. Okay, I want you to be over here to prepare to chop this tile. Oh no, what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to buy the lighthouse, and then I want to buy a trade route for Uppsala so we can start to develop that city. You always want to have internal trade routes for your cities that are coastal, because they struggle the most when it comes to certain things. So why don't you go ahead and build that trader for me, and then I can move that around. There is a mine right there. Mercenaries has been unlocked. Let's move you to here, double attack, clear them out. Oh, wow. Okay. I need another military unit. You need to go to Linköping, and you need to go to Göteborg. Or we could do the shuffle. Better off doing the shuffle. It gets everyone in position faster. +1 governor title from medieval fairs, plus... well, actually, what we want this game is divine right. And we really wanted Valletta to be alive, because then we could have used our faith to buy walls. It is what it is. Let's take Susan Candy in case we do find city-state stuff. Natural wonders to get free relics. We do have room for a relic. Right, we're taking a little bit of damage. Let's retreat you to the city to heal. We'll retreat you to here to take the Embelon promotion. Now, we got the granary in the capital alongside the other stuff. It would be good to get the amphitheater. Let's go for that. It's important that we get those buildings up. We did just finish an amphitheater in here. Let's purchase Great Works of Writing. 150 gold plus 9 gold per turn is a very reasonable price for a great work of writing that is worth 2 culture per turn. Keep in mind, a monument is about 240 gold, so it's on the same scale as having an extra monument. That's the way I want you to think about these numbers, okay? The numbers line up in a very particular way for a very particular reason. Let's go for the commercial hub. Trade routes are an important lifeblood when you're going for a culture victory, especially when you're trading externally. Right now we're going to be trading internally, but in a little while we'll be trading externally. You trade externally for the extra tourism. Something we also need to start considering is unlocking walls. That's not super important to us right now, but it is going to be part of our strategy. We are now officially beating Arabia in culture. These AI boats are now able to go onto the ocean. You know what I'm going to do? I'm tempted to just buy that barb tile. We'll let it go. This trader is going to go to Uppsala, and it's going to be trading internally to help develop Uppsala. Linköping. Would love to buy that tile. Let's see if we can sell anything. Diplo favor, 26 gold. Can't quite afford it. The Oromo cavalry is terrifying. That's where crossbowmen will come in handy. Let's go for walls in the capital. Let's also go for walls in... Well, we have walls in Västerås. That's going to give us an extra hit. Magnus is established here, so we can start doing some chopping. Make sure as many of the forest tiles nearby are owned by the city when you start doing your chopping. Okay, the archer tanked for me. He gets into the city. We have garrisons everywhere. This trade route, ooh, we could trade with Ottawa. That's actually a fantastic trade route. I'm a little bit scared about it going into the water because I don't have a way to defend it right now. This is a fantastic trade route. I'm a little bit scared though, so I'm gonna take the safer trade route, even though 12 gold per turn is huge. That pays for a book. That's the thing. That pays for a great work of writing. So you know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's finish mathematics. Let's research shipbuilding. These are all things that we have the potential. We'll chop out a builder. We always want to build 2 builders in a Magnus city, right? Like when you do a round of chopping, that gives you, you use a couple of charges to get them, and then, you got a little bit of room to fiddle around with. I mean, there is a Colosseum potential. Let's have a look at the city overlap here. Oh man, that was a dirty tile there. There is a 6 city Colosseum right here if we want to actually go for it. And why the hell not? There's also a great theater square going there now. Let's go for it. All right, Linköping. We're going to come in here. We're going to buy that tile. We're going to chop it. Boom. Then I want you to go for your theater square. It's a +2 theater square. You need to get those theater squares down. It's an important part of the plan. A little bit worried about this trader. We'll make it work. Hopefully this guy doesn't see it and go, ooh, I want that trader. Oh. I was expecting to have a little bit more time to deal with this. But I tell you what, 60 turns on, I don't think I saved your game, but I put you in a way more interesting position. So I'm going to call that the end of the Civ disaster. I should have built these walls earlier, and I should have recruited crossbowmen earlier. So you could probably go back like 10 turns and save this pretty easily. I'll make sure to include the save file from here, but I think this is a far more interesting challenge than the challenge you gave me, right? Because you've got you're on the pathway to potential victory, right? All you got to do is get monarchy up, then you start researching your medieval and your Renaissance walls. You get those walls up, then you get the +2 diplo favor from walls. Maybe you rush conservation to get the tourism from walls. Once you're at conservation, you want to have your holy sites built, and then you want to look at your land and see how many national parks can you fit in here. You start deleting all your mines and placing down forests, and you start doing all that sort of stuff. Like there's an interesting game here that I think is a little bit more interesting. I would recommend, like, if you're going to try this, and I will include this save file. Oh, and if you're a Patreon, I'm pretty sure these save files will get posted to the Patreon, so you can try them out yourself. But I'm going to go back to my recommendation is, if you're interested in this save file as a challenge, and this would be how I would play it, is I would go back to turn 111, which is what I'm doing right now, and play from that point, because I think Arabia, that Ethiopia is going to attack you, and so you can prepare for that, right? So build a wall in the capital, get a slightly stronger melee unit to give your cities better strength. There's a few things you can do here to really bring you up from being vulnerable to this attack, but I'm going to call that the end of the video. Let me quickly make the save. I'm putting save. It feels a little bit dishonest to call this save like saved, but I would say, like, the fact that I survived an extra 40 turns and put you into a position where you're like on par with 2 of the AI, at least culturally. Scientifically, you're still really far behind, but through the use of careful like boosting, you can get through the tech tree like relatively efficiently. And we have really high quality districts potential in our empire. So yeah, I definitely think this is a winnable game. And I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.